beans?
Yes.
Okay, what am I supposed to buy?
Something to feed the whole family.
You want me to go buy a grill for Father's Day with mashed beans so I can cook you food? Fine.
6.5 hours later.
Careful. Careful.
Write something on this?
I don't give a shit.
What the hell is this?
You told me to get something for Father's Day.
Is this thing gonna cook any meat?
It'll cook something. All right, here's the deal. Super simple, straightforward business model. You give them money, they turn around and make sure the data brokers on the internet aren't selling your personal information. What does that even mean? Okay, here's the entire internet and every free service on the planet inside of a nutshell. Okay, there's the saying, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product. What that means is pretty much anything on the internet that you use, that's a service, whether that be Google, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all of it, okay? It's all an app, so one of two things is happening. They're either going to feed you ads, and that's how that company makes money since their service is free, or they're going to collect your personal information, then turn around and sell it to data brokers on the internet, and then they're going to turn around and sell it to
I like his delete me commercials where his
17,000 robocalls every single day. And that's
his wife comes in with a gun.
All the major data brokers and find the ones
Delete me, she's going deleting. I like those better. This one he went and bought a grill. That was probably the size of this room, corner to corner, and looked like a bomb.
Downsides of all of the free stuff on the internet, which I think is absolutely worth it.
Like him and a buddy wheeled this thing in.
All right, here's the deal. People say, I want to be an electrician. What they're actually saying is, I want to be a journeyman or a master electrician. The only way to do that is to graduate from an apprenticeship program and then take the state exam and pass it. At that point, you become a journeyman. Then, typically, after you've worked as 1 year for a journeyman, you are eligible to go and take another state exam that's harder to get your master's license. That's it. That's everything.
Why is this not staying on?
Unnecessary and probably wasted money. There is no trade school or college program that you can go to for 2 years and get a diploma or a certificate and be qualified to take the state journeyman's exam. It's not allowed. This varies slightly from state to state, but I'm talking about the state of Iowa. It's very similar everywhere else. To graduate an apprenticeship program, you have to have 8,000 hours of on-the-job training. Meaning, you just have to go to work as an electrician's apprentice for 8,000 hours, which is about 4 years of working 40 hours. In addition to that, you need 800 hours of classroom time, and you have to pass a bunch of tests. Now, that classroom time varies from apprenticeship program to apprenticeship program, but typically it's either going to be night classes a couple nights a week for the 4 years, or in my particular case, my boss would just give us a week off, and we would go to this school and do classes for 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday. We did that 4 to 5 times a year for the 4 years that I was there. Those classes are paid for by the contractor. If you're in a union apprenticeship, the union has their own schools, and if you're in a non-union apprenticeship, typically the state runs an apprenticeship program. Your contractor pays the state to be able to send you to the school. People argue and get a big pissing match about which one's better. At the end of the day, they both get you the exact same journeyman's license. What if you go to college first and get all the classroom stuff out of the way? Almost always, no, that's not true. I think there's 2 or 3 states in the country where if you have a 2-year electrical diploma or certificate or whatever, you're allowed to not have to do the classroom portion of your apprenticeship, but you still have to do the 8,000 hours of work. Meaning, you're still going to be an apprentice for 4 years. If you come in with that diploma or certificate or whatever the fuck it is, guess how much more money they're going to pay you as a first-year apprentice? 99 times out of 100, fucking nothing, okay? I went through this apprenticeship program with plenty of people that did this. We made the same exact amount of money. It does nothing. And that is why it's kind of a scam, right? When you go to, I don't know, nursing school, you graduate nursing school, you're automatically allowed to take the state exam and get your RN license. You can't do that with an electrician. You go and you get their diploma that says you know what the fuck you're doing. Cool. You're still going to go be an apprentice for 4 years. And you paid for 2 years of school. Your contractor will pay for it for you. And that's if you're in one of the 3 states that allows that. Almost all the states still require you to go through the 800 hours of the apprenticeship classroom time. So you can literally go to college for 2 years, pay a bunch of money, get your little diploma. Congratulations, you're still sitting through 800 hours of classroom time for your apprenticeship. And anybody that says otherwise either A, fell for the scam, doesn't want to admit it, or B, they have some financial incentive, like they're an instructor at one of these schools, and they want to keep their gravy train running it, so they don't have to go back and work in the field and just sit in a nice office with air conditioning all day. I'm going to say it again and slower so it really sinks in. Going to college to become an electrician is not necessary in any of the 50 states in the United States of America, and very, very rarely is it even beneficial. To put this in perspective, if you get two 18-year-old high school kids that just graduated, one of them chooses to go into a two-year community college program to be an electrician, and the other one just calls every contractor in town, asks for a job as a helper, and starts working the next day. What's going to end up happening is that helper, within 6 months to a year, is going to be offered the opportunity to join the apprenticeship program, and he's going to start a year before the other guy. Assuming everything goes well, he's then going to turn out, become a journeyman electrician a year before the other guy, make more money faster, and not have $12,000 of student debt to pay off because he got a 2-year diploma. But that guy with a 2-year diploma is more likely to get hired as an apprentice in the first place. Maybe, but also not really. I know contractors that actively avoid hiring people that go through these programs because these programs tell these kids, oh, as soon as you graduate our program, you're going to be hired as a journeyman electrician and you're going to be making $35 an hour, $100,000 a year, whatever. And it's not true. So then they show up at work and they have a bad attitude and they already think they know everything. They actively avoid hiring these people for that reason. Because again, in reality, these programs count for nothing. You can graduate this program, congratulations, great job, I hope you had fun, hope it was worth it. You're still getting hired as a first-year apprentice, making first-year apprentice wages, period, end of story, 99 times out of 100. How do I know that? A, I'm a journeyman electrician. B, I was actually one of the guys in charge of hiring new apprentices, and I cannot tell you the number of times I have had kids come in that had some certificate or diploma from the college that thought that made them a journeyman electrician. So when they come in and I tell them, no, you're not a journeyman electrician, you're not qualified to make $60 an hour and run your own job sites, they're extremely either disheartened or pissed off, and I don't blame them because they just spent 2 years of their life and a bunch of money getting told they're going to have a job paying $60 an hour, and in reality, they qualify for a job that pays them somewhere between $18 and $22 an hour. It's an entry-level apprentice. And in 47 out of the 50 states, you're still going to have to go to 800 hours of classroom training. Maybe you'll be relearning some stuff that you already learned in college, but that brings into question, why did you go off to college to learn it and pay money when you could have just learned it for free? Oh yeah, well if you get that 2-year diploma, it can help you advance quicker and make more money down the line when you want to get promotions. Again, no, not true. That's the bullshit they tell you it's supposed to get you to spend money on their program. Okay? Having a journeyman electrician license is like the pinnacle of being a journeyman. Everything below that doesn't matter once you have that, okay? Saying you're going to get preferential treatment because you have a certificate or something from community college while also having a journeyman electrician's license is like saying if they're hiring 2 ER trauma doctors, they're both board certified ER trauma doctors with experience, but one of them also took a CPR class and knows how to do CPR, so we can hire that one and give him the promotion. Not true. They're both fucking trauma doctors. They both know how to do fucking CPR, okay? Nobody gives a shit. You think when some company is hiring a master mechanic to run their auto shop and they have 2 master mechanics with experience that are applying, but one of them has a fucking certificate from Jiffy Lube that says he knows how to change oil, you think that's going to tip the scales in his favor? No, they're both master mechanics. They know how to change fucking oil. You're just one of those crazy anti-college people. No, I'm not. I've been to college. I have multiple college degrees. I'm not anti-college if it's something you need to go to college for. What I am anti is telling these kids that they're going to be making $70 an hour and they're going to be a qualified journeyman so that you can milk money out of them and waste their fucking time. That's what I'm against. Where's your diploma first year? The new guy, you want to shit your work. Look at me.
You sent me that video.
Bullshit.
Why?
My person's boyfriend's thinking about
fucking new guy. Okay, I don't care what diploma or certificate you have. You are gonna be the guy that's digging the ditches. You are gonna be the guy whose job it is to hold the flashlight and shut the fuck up for the first couple years you are an apprentice electrician. That's just how this goes.
That's your little gift in there. Not too hard, not too soft. Perfect.
And that's not even specific to being an electrician or the trades in general. That's pretty much every career path on the planet. Go watch fucking Scrubs and Grey's Anatomy or any of these other medical shows. All doctors have to do the scut work. All the work that the more experienced doctors want to do. They have to go do it. Okay, this is every job on the planet. There's no school or college you can go to that's going to let you speed run being the new guy, so you might as well get over that right now. And for the love of God, if you went to one of these schools and got one of these diplomas or certificates, do yourself and everyone
That's everything I wish I would have known when I was younger.
First day of work, thinking that any work is beneath you. Because at best, you're going to get bullied, and at worst, everybody's going to absolutely hate you. You're going to get teamed up with some old journeyman that's been doing this for 30 years. He grew up in a house that didn't even have electricity, and when he became an electrician, it was literally going around town lighting the fucking light poles in his town, okay? He's been an electrician since electricity became mainstream. And he is going to walk you over to a control cabinet that's got 12,000 wire terminations in it, open it up, look at you and say, okay, college boy, fucking show me what's up. And you're going to be standing there like, fuck, I don't know anything.
Those wires too?
Yeah, of course. Yellow. See, the sun is yellow, it hits the ground, that's how it is.
And you know what? That's completely okay because you're a first-year apprentice. You just have to understand that you don't know anything so that you can learn. So hopefully by now you understand that if you want to be an electrician, you do not need to go to some college program for 2 years to get that diploma. So the next question is, how the fuck do you get into an apprenticeship? This is going to sound like some early back in my day bullshit, but it's literally what I did 10 years ago. If you decide you want to be an electrician, call every contractor in town, ask for a job as a helper, say you'd like to work your way into being an apprentice. You'll probably have a job by the end of the day, if not by the end of the week. And if you can show up on time, have a good attitude, and not be completely stupid, you will have a leg up in the hiring process when that apprenticeship slot opens up. Because the company already knows you, they know you can show up on time, they know you work hard, they probably already like you, you're already one of the boys. In that situation, if you think your boss is picking his next apprentice, he's going to pick some dude that came from a community college that has expectations that he can't meet as an employee, or do you think he's just going to give it to the guy that he already knows and trusts? He gives it to the guy he already knows and trusts. I'll give it to you. The next question I get asked every single time, is this true for all other trade schools? I want to be an electrician, I want to be a welder, a plumber, whatever the fuck. And honest answer, I don't know. I'm not a journeyman in trades, so I can't tell you. My best piece of advice would be to get a hold of a journeyman that is in that trade and ask them. They'll give you a really good idea. How do you know? It's super simple. If you want to be a plumber, look at the plumbing shops in your area, find the one that's got good reviews, call them and say, hey, I'm a senior in high school, I'm doing a high school project because I think I want to be a plumber. Would it be possible for me to interview one of your best journeymen, the best foremen, the best superintendents for 5 minutes so I could ask them some questions? They will almost guaranteed help you out, get you in contact with that person, and then you can have that conversation. It's that simple. Now, that being said, all the trades kind of work with each other. I've worked with plumbers, HVAC guys, welders, I've worked with around and with them. Generally speaking, from what I've gathered, from what I've heard, again, not gospel, just what I've heard from other people, heating and cooling and HVAC are both great. You should probably go to college for them. I've heard that those programs can help you with that. Same thing goes for automotive. Same thing goes for like tool and die and machining. Welding and plumbing, it's kind of what you want to do because those are very broad career paths. If you want to be like a residential plumber that's going and doing water lines and putting toilets in houses, school can help you with that. If you want to be a welder like in a factory or assembly line, welding school can absolutely help you with that. But if you want to be the plumber, pipe fitter dude that's making like $1,000 per diem and $150 an hour because he's got the special skills to do these high pressure welds and all this other crazy shit, the schools are not really going to help you with that. But I know this because my best friend, the best man in my wedding, is that guy. He is the one that gets paid a bunch of money per diem and gets paid a ton of money per hour and has to travel to go do specialty welds and he's certified to do, and not many people can do what he does. And he went to one of these fancy welding schools right out of high school. He went to, I believe it's considered one of the top 2 welding schools in the entire country on the other side of the country. He moved out there for 2 years, spent 40, 50 grand to go to the school, and he was told he was going to be hot shit. He was going to get a job paying $50 to $70 an hour right out of the gate. Came back home, the older people that were hired were willing to pay him $18 an hour to do welds in the factory. He went to that job for a couple of years, and then he decided he was going to apply to be an apprentice with the plumbing union so that he could get his journeyman's license. And guess what? He got hired as a first-year apprentice. Guess how much money he made? First-year apprentice pay, the same exact amount of money that people with literally no experience that just got out of high school were also making. He said that there was absolutely nothing he learned at this tech school that was not covered by his apprenticeship over the course of that 4 years, and if he could go back and do it all over again, he would have just joined the apprenticeship right out of high school, saved himself $40,000, $50,000, and 4 years of his time. But that's anecdotal evidence. I am not a journeyman welder, pipe fitter, or plumber. I would double check with somebody that is. Now, the next question you're going to ask, because this also gets very confusing, is should I be union or non-union electrician? Full transparency, I was a union electrician my entire career. Why did I end up going that route? Very simply because they were the first company that hired me and they happened to be union. And this is going to piss off everybody because people have very, very strong opinions about whether you should or shouldn't be union. Whatever. You have those opinions. I'm speaking to the 18-year-old kid that doesn't do anything. Deciding that right now is not like a life-altering fatal decision, okay? I've met people that started in the non-union apprenticeship, got mad at their contractor, quit, and then joined the union apprenticeship and went on to become union journeymen. I know people that have flunked out of the union apprenticeship program, not because they were stupid or dumb or couldn't hack it, but because they had some own personal life issues going on and they ended up losing their job in the union. They went to a non-union shop, continued their apprenticeship, and they became a non-union journeyman. I've met shitty electricians that I wouldn't trust to wire my house, and I've met electricians that I've seen frequently have to correct electrical engineers, and they're absolutely brilliant. I can say the same exact thing about non-union shops. Being union or non-union is not going to be the determining factor on whether or not you're going to be a good electrician. You are that determining factor.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
The only caveat I'll throw in is if you join the union apprenticeship with a union contractor, it's going to be squared away. You're going to have a very clear path to how to get your journeyman's license. And you will have the same exact thing with, I hope, the majority and the significant amount of non-union shops. However, because non-union shops are less regulated, there is the potential for some contractors to be shitty and not give you the right training with the state-accredited program in a timely fashion. So, if you're going non-union, which is completely fine, just make sure it's with a good contractor that's going to get you going to the actual state-accredited apprenticeship classes. Again, full transparency, I didn't want to make this video. It's not my normal jam. It's not some funny internet business, and it's not some history with a war here or whatever. That's usually what I do here on YouTube. But I did want to answer these kids' questions. So originally, I just made a social media post over on X or Twitter or whatever the fuck you want to call it, explaining this, and the amount of backlash I got from people that have no idea what the fuck they're talking about was insane. So we're just going to go over some of these, and we'll actually see how to. Again, just for context, my tweet essentially said that trade schools to become an electrician are essentially a scam because you're not required in the United States. You just get paid pay for your actual experience, and you should just continue to do that instead. And here are some of the comments that I received. Fuck basic training, let's just grab a rifle and head off the board. Fuckhead, the apprenticeship is the basic training. Do you understand that? Going to a tech school for 2 years before entering your apprenticeship is akin to going to a community college for 2 years to get a certificate of employment and being a soldier before you ship off the basic training. It's fucking dumb and unneeded. From this, it's not about if two people apply for a job and one can show a degree and the other can't, guess who gets the job? Another country where people are showing college degrees to flip burgers at fucking McDonald's. Saying it's not about what you learn in reference to going to college to get an education is the dumbest fucking thing I have ever heard in my entire life. And this attitude of, it doesn't matter if I learn anything, as long as I've got a piece of paper that says I know something, is the reason that nobody gives a fuck about college degrees in the trades in the first place. Congratulations, you're part of the problem. The problem with this path is that people can't afford to do an unpaid apprenticeship. It's not an unpaid apprenticeship. There is no such thing as an unpaid trades apprenticeship. It doesn't fucking exist. It might have back in the fucking 1800s, but it doesn't right now, okay? I can't speak for every local, every sector of the country, but in Iowa, if you're a first-year apprentice in a smaller town that's the lower paid, our first-year apprentices are making, like, I believe $12 an hour day one with full health care coverage and retirement benefits. It's not an unpaid apprenticeship. And then every year of the 4-year apprenticeship you complete, you get a raise, and then once you get your journeyman's license, you get a big raise, and you're making like $60 an hour. Or here you attend, graduate your chosen trade, and then enter a top position with top pay. What a dumbass take. No, fuck stick, that's not how that works. You're not going to graduate from a community college and get a journeyman's license and get top pay or anything else. You are qualified to be a first-year apprentice, and that's fucking it. You will get paid first apprenticeship wages just like everybody else that has no experience whatsoever. Shut up. This is why I'm making this video, because people that know absolutely fucking nothing about this have extremely strong opinions because they've been just from kindergarten to 12th grade beaten into their fucking head that if they don't go to some type of school, they're not going to make a bunch of money. It's not true. It's complete fucking bullshit. And tech schools are sued and go bankrupt and go out of business all the fucking time because they always get in trouble for fraud because they tell these kids, come here, get our certificate, you're going to be qualified to make $100,000 a year, and it very rarely, if ever, fucking happens. this. I have no reason to lie to you about this, okay? I volunteered to be on the hiring committee for my union because I like helping kids. I loved training apprentices. I would go back to doing it in a heartbeat if this YouTube thing dries up. So again, just so we're on the same page, trade school, tech schools, program at a community college that gives you a certificate or a diploma to be an electrician is not required in any state in the United States of America, and rarely is it helpful. It's more often a humongous waste of both your time and your money. The only people that I would recommend it to are high school kids that are graduating and know they want to go into trades, but they also want to go get a college experience and party and drink with their friends, and they want to do something applicable to that, and they just have an understanding that they're not going to be hot shit just because they graduated. Good, great option if you want to go to 12, make memories, have the time of your life. Awesome. Again, same thing with military veterans. You've been in the military for 4, 6, 8, 10 years, and you have a GI Bill that's going to pay for everything. If you just want to go off for a couple of years and party and drink and have fun, a great purpose for that too. Just please, for your own good, do not let them convince you that you are going to get this diploma or certificate after 2 years of a community college and you're going to come out making $100,000 a year and then you know as much as a journeyman electrician, because neither of those things are awesome. So yeah, sorry this was a one-off kind of electrician with Top Files video. This is kind of a one-off. I'll get back to my normal content as soon as possible. I've just had thousands of people ask this question, and I'm in a unique position with this platform to get this answer out to as many people as possible.
Aren't you glad I listened to him? There's a chance that me listening to him could alter your daughter's life.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Habitual Line Crosser, and today, yes, I am wearing Battle Electrician merch, but I want you to know that it is in a show of solidarity with a good friend of mine, who at the same time, I am adamant. So I don't like betting money. This is what I'm being from you guys. I've never liked betting money. Money is just money. I don't really care. I like betting things, and I am bound and determined to bet that man is bigger. I don't know what I'm going to have to put up, but I want to bet that man to be bigger. It's got to be minutes. Anyways, this video today.
Come on, damn it! Get over a fucking little rock. You've already pushed it twice.
Man, we're finally getting him. He's going to shit on the military. Not necessarily. There are things we get wrong, but I'm also going to explain some of the things we're starting to do right to get these things to work the right way. The first thing is this hurts me saying this, every year annually, most Army installations spend millions maintaining their gyms and equipment. We are not allowed to go to the gym for PT during PT hours. They have a $several billion gym that they built a couple of years ago, and we are not allowed to utilize it during PT hours. The Army has gyms all over the place. Why can't we use them for PT? They would much prefer us being out in the cold during PT hours for reasons that I still don't fully understand. And I live by this, and I'm going to tell you that straight to your face. There is zero training value in keeping people cold during PT. Keep me cold when I'm working on the equipment, when I'm doing the job. That's fine. That teaches me to operate in those kind of conditions. That makes sense. But making me do push-ups in the snow has zero training value. Oh, it'll get you used to it. Yeah, you know what else will get you used to it? Losing fingers and toes to cold weather injuries. Now, I will say the logic behind this is most installations, like even this one here, which is a kind of a smaller installation in Oklahoma, we have like 15 to 20,000 troops here. And there's 4 gyms on this. So I get it. It's illogical. Like, you can't have everybody go to the gym every day for PT. But I guarantee when you do go in there, you're going to find people in privileged positions as shops in the gym. You're going to find certain command teams in the gym. And then you're going to find people who find a way to skate out of PT in the gym. And those are the ones that irritate me the most. Like, the ones who know what they're talking about, the ones that got their headphones in and they're walking around the track, but they're not actually, like, walking or push themselves. They're just strolling along, talking to their friend. Because every time I go to the gym, like, I don't like having to get up and do PT. I've never been a fan of it. But if you're going to make me go there, I'm going to put that rage into my workout. Because that's the person that I am. So I'm going to push myself until I'm fine. Because that's me. But those people who just scroll So today I'm gonna stretch. My chest is still sore from Monday, and I went to one of the gyms we have where I work because I was supervised, and I went there, and I got a very good workout. My chest is still sore, and right now when I'm videotaping this, it's Wednesday, and I'm still sore from Monday, which is good. It's a good thing. Is it a great idea? Kind of, because it keeps people out of there doing nothing. But it still frustrates me. It still gets me. Even. And just like that, I change. Ladies and gentlemen, I have partnered with Gamer Subs. What is Gamer Subs? Well, let's get into it. Gamer Subs comes in many different flavors. It is a delicious energy drink alternative. But here's the kicker. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and keto friendly. So, this little...
Hot, steamy, and dripping. Drinking blood was becoming addictive. But if
Hey, Big, what's going on? How you been? I am trying something a little different. I'm trying to roll the sand before I pave it. Just to see if it makes a difference, and it does not seem to. Oh, dude, I was super busy at work today. Crazy busy. Lately, we've been getting 15, maybe 20 trucks a day. Today, I was working in the office, having to deal with all the paperwork on them. We had 48 trucks. Yeah, this does not appear to be doing anything to it, so I'm just going to go on back. Right on. We've had that many trucks before, but it's few and far between. We can comfortably handle about 35 to 40. So having 48 when probably about a fifth of the workforce was off. Well, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my phone real quick. You guys only have 5 bays? We have 35 bays on one side of the building and about 40 bays on the other side. And that's in one building. We've got 3 buildings. Dude, we barely had space for the 40-some trucks we have today. Because it's not just a matter of bringing the stuff in and it's not really have to be dealt with. You have to bring it all in, take the time to sort it out, receive it, and then load it into the racks. Don't know if you heard or not, but I went to the zoo yesterday. It has changed a lot. some of the changes I'm not really fond of. Like the alligators and crocodiles. Used to be one of my favorite exhibits. Now it's just like, me, whatever. And the oceans exhibit. Oh, okay. Take it easy. So do we have any plans tomorrow? Hey, Rab, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man?
Just rolling some asphalt. Right on. Yeah, I was just on here messing around on the live stream. So, how you been? Right on. And we went out for Mexican today, but that's because I wanted the cake. They have a tres leche cake, which is three different sweet creams, and then they do like a caramel drizzle, and it's almost over something similar to an angel food cake. Yeah, it does. I took extra. I took extra insulin before we went, and I tried not to overdo it. I shared, like, wife and I split a piece. Makes it a little bit easier on it. Wasn't supposed to be so darn hot tomorrow. I'd think about going to the zoo again. Yeah. I could take my nephew and his boys. Besides, the animals won't be as active in all that heat. I mean, some of them don't really care, but so you gonna play some Jackbox Party games tonight or watch Jaws? I played it on the web browser on my PlayStation one time, but I had so much lag I wasn't able to keep up. Like, yeah, you'd probably be better if you had it on a computer. So I don't think you can do it on the phone. Yeah, I like sitting back watching it, if nothing else. I mean, you could probably go into the chat and someone could probably talk you through it. Yeah, I think so. It's at his normal Twitter time. I think he's planning on playing that for a couple hours or at least an hour and a half or so. And then switch it over to movie night. Yeah. Was you on his chat last night? Or on his... Was you there when he said what he's going through? So he did make it public what he's going through, so I don't feel bad letting you know this. But his mom just passed away. That's what's got him down. He what? Oh man, that's rough. Yeah. I just lost my mom in November. That hit me hard, and after that, December, like about a month later, I stumbled across Tyler's live stream on TikTok. There's something about it. It helped me a lot. So it's one of those things where even though it's been that long ago, it still helps. It's like when he was on vacation for a week, I was like, man, that started bugging me some. Yeah. You on Roadcraft or on Snow Runner? With tires? Do you have it set up? Like, would it be available? Like, if you had it? So, what do you play Roadcraft or Snow Runner on? Hold on. Really? Come on, game. Don't do this stupid stuff. Do what? Oh, yeah? What's that? Um, I didn't have the road leveled out quite the way I should have. And I took the semi a little too tight on the corner. And it started falling off the edge. They got a 605 in here, but I'm not impressed with it. Where? Oh, for crying out loud, really? Don't let anybody try to convince you that this game is easy. Yes. You'll be driving something, like right now, I'm driving. Stop. I run into so many problems on this playing solo that you can't do stuff. Like right now, I've driven this truck all the way over here, right next, like literally, probably a semi length away from my destination. And I'm stuck. Just trying to get this thing out. Oh wait, it's moving, it's moving. I've got all the equipment here to pave this little area, I just didn't think I needed to. I drove a different truck through here, didn't have any problem with it. And of course, the trailer's trying to go right for a rock instead of the direction I want it to go. Alright, screw it. I am not in the mood to mess with that. I have rage quit this game so many times on this one section road. Huh? It's one of those things where you don't think it would be an issue. And yet it's always an issue, and it's always worse than what it should be. And it's just like, is it really that bad? No, I'm just that impatient. I just get tired of. It's like, no, this shouldn't be like this. In my mind, it shouldn't be like that. Other people probably be thinking, oh, this is great, you know, it's a real challenge and stuff. Yeah, it's a challenge, but why? It's that's just me, though. Yeah, I will be. Sent the truck all the way back to the spawn point, and now I'm gonna pave more. Oh, for crying out loud. You what? Dude, I'm determined to get this truck all the way and finish this mission today. I'm like, most missions you can knock them out in like an hour or so. This mission, I'm like 4 days deep. Doesn't help if you've got a wicked toothache to top it off. It's like, I just don't feel like taking the time off work or paying the thousands upon thousands of dollars of getting it fixed. They're going to have to, huh? No, they're going to have to surgically remove the majority of my teeth. Yeah. I've got great health care as far as like the insurance I carry. I carry really good insurance. It's just, it's still stupid expensive, especially with how much I pay on insurance. And then it's going to be probably at least a week off work for recovery time. So like I said, the majority of my teeth are going to have to be surgically removed because of how much have been broken off and stuff. Wife's watching a video of a tick removal. She watched some of the weirdest shit.
You know what it looks like?
I know what ticks look like.
When they're embedded?
Yes. They look like a giant olive. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, do you know what they look like when they're embedded? It's like, yep. I've seen them plenty of times. I don't think anyone Gen X has ever could make it this long and not see a tick embedded in something. Typically embedded in dogs is what I see.
Uh-oh.
They do pop it. You know you can get the head out with a credit card? babe. Hey, did you know you can get a tick's head out with a credit card? Did you know that, Rab? Got a V notch, a beveled V notch in the side of a credit card. Slide it right up between the tick's body and whatever it's sucking on. The person cutting the, is it was the person cutting someone open to get the head out? She ignores me. She don't even pay no attention to me when she's watching our videos.
Sorry, what? I don't even know whether you're talking to me or talking online. What's up? What's the video?
What?
Huh?
eggheads are one funny bunch. They haven't even finished digging this temple, but they're already salivating about another big memorial complex nearby. They found a hint to its location on the wall they're digging now, and they want our help locating the place. The professor in charge says he wants us to find a safe box with some old manuscripts from his colleague somewhere in Elamir. I guess that colleague is in evacuation now, but we're so excited to hear about the discovery that he doesn't mind his safe being broken into. I guess he also won't mind an insurance rainfall later on. Anywho, can you drive over there and find the safe? Good job finding the box. Now, could you drive it to the Egghead-affiliated translator in Tipple? The professor told me he's going to name whatever they find after us, too, if you do. Ain't that guy sweet? And weird. applies to the archaeologists. Could you also take care of another small errand? This one is from that translator in Tiffle. He says he found the location of some tablet he's been chasing for years in those papers. Could you go and check the spot out? Shouldn't take you too long. Translator mentioned a lost gorge, but I suppose it was found some time ago. I wonder what happened to the driver. Car's still being here and all. Could you do me a favor and be extremely careful? I'd have to send someone looking for you. And who's got the time for that? translator sounded positively elated when he got that tablet. Said he's been looking for it all his life. Doesn't really take much to make certain types happy, right? Works for us, though. He also said he'd give us the most glowing of recommendations, and mention you in his thesis. I guess you'll be famous soon. As far as I'm concerned, him not invoking some ancient curse when reading that tablet will be enough.